Hello, I'm Brennan Smolen, and today we're talking about how sleep affects academic performance. Here is what is on our agenda. Starting with, why does this matter? Why do we care about this? Why do we want to know if our sleep matters or not? That's what we're going to be looking at. Then we're going to go in and find the answers by looking at these two studies. Both of them are quantitative. The first one's from Stanford, the second one is from the National Library of Medicine. After this, we're going to analyze them, we're going to compare them, we're going to see what the information was, and then we're going to draw a conclusion and wrap it all up. First things first, why sleep matters. So, why does this matter? Well, if we find out that sleep does lead to better academic performance, what this can do for you is it can get you better grades, help you with your clarity, help you with whatnot. You wake up, you feel well rested, you're going to have an improved mood, you're going to just feel refreshed, you're going to be better. You're going to come to school and you're going to be like, this is awesome. I can think clearly, I feel good, I feel awake. It's going to make school fun again. Okay? So this could really help your life out a lot if we do find that this helps. If you can see that from the camera, you're going to be looking like her in the morning, all happy, ready for the day. 2, we're going to look at the first study. Our first study here is from Stanford. What they did is they took 88 college students and they measured the consistency of their sleep and the length of their sleep, and then compared it to how they did on test scores in their GPA. So, overall, their findings were that sleep duration and consistency improved academic performance. What they found was 7%, their test scores were 7% better from good sleepers to bad sleepers. So, 1 a.m., the kids who went to bed after 1 a.m. had an average of 7% less score versus the kids who went to bed before 1 a.m. So the numbers actually went from was 78.28% to 70.68%. So I'll say that again. After 1 a.m., their scores were 70%. Before, on average, were 78%. So it was a 7% difference that they found between the kids who went to bed longer, who got longer sleep, more consistent sleep. Another thing that they found, 25% of academic performance variance linked to sleep patterns. So there, as you know in school, there's a lot of different like, you have your smart kids, you know, the kids that don't do as well, the kids in the middle, right? And there's a lot of factors that lead to that. It could just be the person themselves, their genetics, how their parents were, you know. People have different strong points that they're good at, and some people's school just isn't their thing. So there's so many different things that add up and add into this. So the fact that 25% of that is due to sleep shows that it is a very important thing. 25% is a lot. That is a quarter of all of it. Out of all the reasons that could affect your academic performance, this is a quarter of it. Probably one of the biggest ones. Here's a fun fact. 88% of MIT students wear a Fitbit tracker to track their sleep. So what this does is going to tell you how long they slept, when they go to sleep. It's going to give you all the details about your sleep. And the fact that 88% of MIT students do this, MIT is one of the best schools in the world. The top students get in there. So if the top students in the world, 88% of them are tracking their sleep, it just has to mean something. So I thought I would include that just to say, if the smartest people do it, it's probably important. Next, we're going to be looking at our second study, number 3. Our second study is from the National Library of Medicine. What they did, instead of looking at the duration of sleep and the consistency, what they did is look at the sleep quality using the Pittsburgh Sleep Quality Index. They did it on 102 students, so 14 more students than the last one. Basically, this is comparing the quality of sleep. So this is basically saying 6 hours of good sleep. So they compared whoever had the best sleep. Doesn't really matter the time, doesn't matter when, just who had the best sleep. So the findings were the average GPA out of the 102 students was 15.8 out of 20. On a 4.0 scale, this is 3.16 to kind of compare it. So not terrible, pretty good. and 46% of the students had a poor sleep quality. So about half. So half of the students had a poor sleep quality, and their average GPA was 3.16. They found no difference, no significant correlation between these two. So the kids who had the best GPA versus the kids who had the worst GPA, their sleep didn't have any. It was all mixed up. Kids in the middle had bad sleep, kids at the top had bad sleep. So it didn't have any correlation whatsoever. And this is sleep quality. That's something that's important, so keep that in mind. So this study found that there was no correlation between that at all, while the other one found that there was correlation between it. Now we go into our analysis. So comparing these two, they're both quantitative. They both involve numbers, statistics, stuff like that. The first one had 88. The second one had 102 participants. Not a big change. So pretty similar. 14, that's not very much. It's only a little bit. Not going to have a huge difference on that. So after looking at sample size, which is pretty similar, we're going to look at the key measures. So this is probably the most important part, is what each of these studies measured. So this is Stanford. This is National Library of Medicine. Stanford studied the sleep length and the sleep consistency. So what this is basically how long you slept for and how consistent that was every day. So if you're going to bed at 9 o'clock every night and getting 8 hours of sleep, that's good. Versus if you're going to bed at 9 o'clock one night, 2 a.m. the next night, getting 4 hours of sleep, then you're getting 10 hours of sleep. So they found that the consistency and the length of your sleep is going to correlate to better GPA and better test scores. Not huge. It's not going to make you from the bottom of the class to the top, but it's going to show some results. The National Library of Medicine study only measures the sleep quality. Kind of involves duration and consistency, but mainly if you slept 6 good hours. And they found there's no correlation whatsoever. So this study is saying kind of what I was saying about 9 a.m. to, let's say you slept from 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. And it was super good sleep. But the next night you slept from 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. But it was also super good sleep. That's not going to correlate to a better feeling. That's not going to make your mind feel well rested. It's not going to improve your memory, cognitive function versus being consistent. So this showed a correlation. This didn't show a correlation. That's when we look at them head to head. Let's put this together. Let's draw a conclusion. So what we can find is not all aspects of sleep are going to improve academic performance. So duration and consistency are the most important things. If you're going to bed at the same time every night and waking up at the same time every day, doesn't matter if it's weekday, weekend, you're getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. That's what's going to set you up best for success versus just making sure that you're getting good quality sleep at random times. So that is what is going to do you best. Now, it's not going to take you from the bottom of the class and you're looking at, the kids with the 4.0, above 4.0 GPAs versus, you might have a 2.0 or something. It's not going to jump you up. Sleep isn't, there's so many factors that vary into how kids do in school. And sleep plays a role, but it's not going to take you, all of a sudden you start getting 2 more hours of sleep. That's not going to take you to the top of the class. But it can improve your mood and set you up for better success. Improve your mood, improve your memory, and slowly help you increase. So if you want the best chance at getting better grades, how it affects academic performance, how you can feel better, go to bed at the same time every night and get a good amount of sleep. Okay? That's all you can say. Make a routine. Make it routine. That's the best thing that it'll do for you. It's not going to take you a huge jump. It's just going to help you out a little bit. And I think a lot of people would benefit from that. So that's the overall conclusion of what I found from these studies. Here's my works cited from Stanford, National Library of Medicine. Thank you. That was our presentation on how sleep affects academic performance. Goodbye.